Dinner for shoes, please.
Hello, and welcome to a particularly comfortable episode of Dinner for Shoes. Oh, she sat right up. She said, I'm going to be part of it today. Kit is yet again sleeping, and I just want her to be part of it so badly. But I think when we take out the chicken, she might be interested in. I'll get into that. We have a special guest for today's episode. I'm really excited. Today's episode, hence the reason why we're so comfortable up in here, is the fashion of fitness. Because this is like a topic that we need to talk about. We don't need to talk about it, but we are talking about it because we've just kind of like let it happen. If you go on TikTok, part of the series that I started for Pop Sugar is called Fit Check. And it's based on the fact that TikTok is chock full of all of these like, get ready with me. This is what, like, there's this callback to being super healthy, waking up in the morning. This is what I eat in a day. This is where I'm working out. I'm going to my boutique fitness class. There's basically an unspoken uniform in this boutique fitness class. It all can be very overwhelming, but there is an aesthetic that we're creating around fitness and what fitness is today. And it's more... Workout clothes are more than just the set that's going to be supportive and hold your tits up when you're doing a burpee, right? Workout clothes have become something that show who you are. They're personality infused the same way like jewelry is now, which is cool and fine and I love it. But they're also a suggestion of what type of workout you like to do. When you're wearing the workout clothes, it's outward representation of what you're going to do after class, right? Is it the perfect outfit to go from your yoga class or your hot Pilates class to brunch? And like, there are so many, it can almost be intimidating to try to wear some of the workout clothes that are being created. Now, I know I was intimidated to wear a jumpsuit to like a solid core class before I tried it for the first time. I saw so many people doing it, girls wearing like tight little rompers with like cut out backs. And I'm just thinking like, everything is going to fall out, literally everything. Like my vagina is going to fall out of those fucking booty shorts. So basically, all of this to say, this is a very real thing, the fashion of fitness right now. And I could think of no one better to talk to about this than Syd Miller, who is the founder of Housework. If you don't know about Housework, it is a high energy, incredible workout. They just opened their studio in New York. It involves house music, Pilates-based moves, strength exercises, and intensive cardio. And also for people who love, speaking of TikTok, like learning TikTok dances and choreography, it's a great class for you because, and this was kind of like complicated for me when I took my first Housework class, you develop a routine throughout the class and you learn the routine. And the key is, and this is probably one of my favorite parts of Housework, is that if you go back and you take the class throughout the week, you remember the routine stays the same throughout the week and you get to perfect it, which is really cool. It allows people to develop a sense of confidence, right? For this workout that is unlike any other workout that's out there. And I really appreciate that because we see so many different types of workout classes, but we see a lot of the same, like hot Pilates, you're going to sweat, you're going to use the little Pilates ring, you're going to use weights, like whatever. And it's like everyone trying to one up each other. So I appreciate that Syd kind of developed her own thing. It's out of the box, it's cool, and it speaks to who she is. And it has an aesthetic, which is why, like, the whole studio has an aesthetic. It's so pink, so, like, it looks like what you're about to learn in my interview with Syd, but it actually looks like her apartment. So it's based on her personal style, which I love. And Syd used to be a SoulCycle instructor, in fact. So that's kind of where, like, working out to the beat and where music and the house music that Syd loves, like, developed and played into this whole workout situation, right? Because it's like more than just a workout class. It's so much more than that. And I talked to Syd about what she thinks about TikTok and all of these trends and the aesthetics that are being that are being integrated into the fitness world. And we really got into it. So I think you're going to really enjoy our conversation. You're going to learn about housework too. Maybe decide if it's the right workout for you, which I can tell you it's so fun and everyone should try it once. Being that I don't live in the city and I live in Hoboken, which also affected the reason why I couldn't get Syd's exact favorite meal, but we'll get there. I don't get to go to housework classes enough, but I really have to get to another one. And Syd reminded me of that when we signed off. But I want to start by talking about my outfit, which, yes, is a stylish, in my opinion. I think this color, sand, is really stylish. A stylish workout outfit from VIREN. They are a athletic brand, and as you know, and as we're about to talk about, there are so many stylish workout clothes out there, but I really like VIREN, and we're gonna do a giveaway of this exact set that I'm wearing. So follow the Dinner for Shoes Instagram, watch this space, and you could have the chance to win this exact set, which I'm telling you is super, super comfortable. And that is part of, so, you know, I'm gonna talk about my entire outfit, but I wanna just harp on these VIREN pieces, this set for a second, because that's part of why VIREN was developed. One of the co-founders, Nadine, was looking for something. She's an athlete herself, and she was looking for something that felt stylish for sure, but also delivered on comfort, practicality, performance. And one of the things that she made sure to do, and one of the reasons why Dinner for Shoes loves to partner with brands like this, is that she made sure that all the materials that she was sourcing in production were, I'm gonna butcher this, but I think it's Ecotex. Let's just say Ecotex, maybe. Certified materials, which means that they've all been chemically tested and there are virtually no chemicals in the materials that you're wearing. Everything is safe for the environment. And she made sure that all of her clothing was produced in ethical factories. So everything is soft and supportive. And I will say that I can speak to that wearing it. I really like these pants, which I'm sure Nick will think, he's, again, working back there, but I think Nick will think that these are butt pants because they're sweatpants and they're comfortable, but like they're kind of tight on me. So that's what he would call them. I also love that they have the VIREN logo on the butt right here. I think that's a really cool and subtle way. It's stitched in the same material, so it's just like a different like fabric, and you can read VIREN. I really love that. And so all the clothes are designed for longevity. That was something else that Nadine really thought was missing. A lot of her workout clothes, I guess, and I can speak to this too, were falling apart after so many workouts. So that was key for her. She made sure that all the fabrics she was using were contouring to the body. Like I said, that everything was manufactured in a place where workers were treated fairly, where everyone was being mindful of the environment. And if you go on VIREN's website, I really love this. They have blogs where they share healthy tips, healthy recipes, wellness tips, and just like posts being athletes. I love to see a brand that is created for athletes by athletes, and you can tell that VIREN is one of those brands. I'm also wearing New Balance sneakers. I really love these New Balance. These kind of remind me of like, I don't know, there's just something about this like poofed out like PVC plastic situation on the heel that reminds me of like the shoes we used to wear in like the early 2000s. Do you remember? Like they had like, they were like the Air ones, like the Nike Airs, and they had like the little like platforms underneath each. It was just like a cool like sole. So maybe we're getting back into like really cool soles. I love these. I've only worn them a couple times so far, but I really like the contrast brown area. There's mesh all over the upper. I think they're really pretty. And the laces are almost like terry cloth. So they're all comfort. And I think for me, that's what I love about a workout set that's stylish, is when it's also comfortable. And I am wearing, and this is something that I don't normally do. I'm not normally a wearing jewelry while I work out person, but since we're talking about the fashion of fitness, I have to say that as a Peloton devotee, I often choose the classes, especially when I'm on the bike, based on what the different instructors are wearing. I am attracted to it. A lot of the women wear jewelry, a lot of them. I would say like 90% of the instructors are wearing jewelry and layered necklaces, sort of like the 2 chains that I'm layering today. I don't even remember where I got them from, but I'm also wearing like little hoop earrings. A lot of the instructors are doing this to complement the really cool workout sets that they wear. I literally wrote an entire post on how much thought goes into what these instructors wear, right? When they're teaching classes, and how their outfits speak to the theme. Their outfits are so much more than just support for them. And I'm wearing my engagement ring as well. It's funny. I was actually trying to film this episode like an hour ago, but Nick was on a call and I was like, gotta get my engagement ring, because I know if you see that I recorded an episode without it, you'll be like, where's your engagement ring? I am the kind of person, and honestly, like, weigh in on the comments and tell me what you think about this, but I don't wear jewelry when I'm or just around the house. And I just got out of the shower and I worked out that morning. I work out every single day, and jewelry is not normally a part of that for me. I put on jewelry when I'm going out, which doesn't happen every day. So it's just like something to think about. I think these days, when we're thinking about fitness, when we're thinking about our workout set outfit, it doesn't go without considering jewelry. It doesn't go without considering accessories, a cool headband that's going to look chic in your blown out hair when you're at brunch after your Pilates class. Like, what is that about? I feel like years ago, we weren't doing that, but it is such a thing now. Like, will this workout set look good with my Louis Vuitton duffel that I'm bringing? Like, right? Like, that's crazy. I want you to take a listen to my conversation with Syd, which is really going to set the tone for the rest of the episode. And then after you take a listen, hear Syd's take on the aesthetic behind fitness and where she sees style and fashion going this year in 2025 and beyond. We're going to try her favorite meal, and I'm going to talk you through some of my personal favorite brands that are stylish. They offer workout clothes. I think they're inclusive brands. I love the colors. I love the silhouettes. I love the cuts of these brands that these brands offer. I think they're always doing something inventive, similarly to VIREN. And these are 10 brands that I selected. Doesn't mean there aren't more, because there are so many. But I think all of these brands have a handle on mastering that style element and comfort, practicality. What am I actually going to want to work out in? And as someone who didn't believe that like a jumpsuit, like a cat suit, would be comfortable to work out in, I can safely say that I was wrong, and I am forgiving myself, because now I am a jumpsuit devotee. I see how jumpsuits are chic and cool for a Pilates class, if made with the right material, if made with the right support, and looking great and contouring the body. All right, so go take a listen to my interview with Syd from Housework. I hope you enjoy, and I'll be right back with her favorite meal. So Syd, let's dive in and talk about how you got your start. You were a SoulCycle instructor. You have a fitness journey that kind of reflects like this really beautiful transition into where you are now with Housework. So do you want to just kind of talk about your background and how it's fueled you?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I actually did have another life before fitness, which feels like so long ago, but I started out working in advertising at a big agency in New York. And then from there, I pivoted to a really small concierge company. That was actually when I got exposed to SoulCycle, because one of the things that we would do was book 12 o'clock. You know how booking opens at like 12 o'clock on Monday. So that was something that we did. And then one of my girlfriends that was a colleague was like, oh, we should like go take SoulCycle. And then that's when I started going. But I was always really into working out, like in college with my mom in high school. Like I was always a workout girly. Never thought I would do that like for work though. But anywho, so that's when I fell in love with SoulCycle. And then from there, I quickly had a little brief stint in PR, which was kind of like my breaking point and my realization that corporate life, just sitting at a desk, wasn't really for me. And I was 24 and I auditioned to be an instructor and just kind of did like a full 180. And yeah, became like Miss SoulCycle and was super like diehard about my classes. I grew a following known as the Syd Squad. Wow. And who also became some of my friends many, many years, you know, of being with these people all the time. And then while I was at SoulCycle, they were launching a concept called Soul Annex, which I don't know if do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that. Yeah.
Okay, so it was like 2017, I believe.
Okay.
2017 or 2018. Anywho, they were launching a concept where they were going to take certain like cult following SoulCycle instructors, people that really had a tight knit crew, and have them teach other formats that were off the bike. And I had recently gotten certified in Pilates just because I kind of wanted to learn and add something to my fitness resume. So they were like, oh, Syd, do you want to come up with a Pilates based workout? And I really like took the time to think through what I would want that to be, and came up with Housework because I love house music. And I wanted to kind of keep that like moving to the beat of the music and that high energy vibe of my SoulCycle class, but bring it to the floor. And so I came up with Housework, and I made sure that Housework was always going to be mine no matter what happened with SoulCycle, because obviously if I was creating my own format, I wanted to own it, which was very helpful. And then did that for about a year. And it was really cool because I got a lot of my SoulCycle clients to get stronger and work out in a way that they weren't really used to. And it was really fun for me. And then after about a year, SoulCycle pivoted. They didn't re-sign that lease, and they decided to focus elsewhere, in other projects within the company. And I kept teaching in New York. I just kept teaching at different pop-ups like Lululemon Basement and Fit House and all these different like kind of gyms that were trying this thing out of having multiple formats in the same place. And then COVID happens and I moved to Miami. And well, I actually didn't know that I moved to Miami. I went to Miami to stay at my parents' house. I then decided to move. But at first I just went because I was like, I'm not getting stuck in New York.
Yeah.
And then like day one started teaching Housework on Zoom. And that is what really like took things to the next level. I think it was perfect timing of everyone needing a different way to work out. And also people had known about me, people had seen Housework, people that weren't necessarily in New York City that, maybe were really interested in that type of format. So that's when things really took off. And then I launched the Housework app, kept teaching the Zoom classes. Like that was, 2020 up until literally this March when I opened my first brick and mortar back in New York, back where it all started at the original SoulCycle Union Square, which is where I'm sitting right now.
Amazing. I love that. Is such a full circle journey. I love that you kind of saw what SoulCycle was and what it did for people, especially like the music and kind of just like the club atmosphere. And you like thought even bigger picture about it and made it your own, which is what Housework is. And I think something else, at least that spoke to me when I walked into Housework for the first time, is like the aesthetic. And, you have kind of created this like atmosphere, like you obviously love pink, but it also is a very like house atmosphere when you walk in. So how did you come up with that? What was your vision? Was it always the same or did it kind of evolve?
It kind of evolved. I would say that, it's funny because the Housework studio lobby, first of all, the Housework lobby, bathroom, everything is a different vibe than the interior of the studio. The way I thought it through was like, I want Housework to feel homey and girly and like the place that you live. And then when you go into the studio, it's like the place where you let go and feel free, and it's like your club. So, but what's interesting about it is like, if you know me, like some of my friends that, know me and know like the lobby and the bathroom looks like my apartment in Miami.
Okay.
Like it is my aesthetic. Like it is my home aesthetic. And I think that's partly to do, I don't even think it was like so conscious. I think it's because I taught Housework from home for, for plus years, 5 years basically. And I was doing Housework in a similar kind of setting with purple lights, but like, marble floor, like washed pink, like accents, rose gold, like that's my look.
And it's just so brilliant and cool and amazing for you that you got to literally like design that in a studio where now you have tons of clients and people are coming and loving it.
That was very, very fun. That design process was really fun.
I'm sure. Like you got to become like an interior decorator, even though like you weren't before, and it's all about you and what you love. So let's talk about like inside the studio a little bit and what people are wearing to show up to class, because I feel like this is a whole, and we're going to dive deeper into this, but like a whole other conversation in and of itself, just with how focused people are on their workout clothes and how it's literally like informing the way that they work out, the type of workout they're doing. So what is your personal style when it comes to working out when you do think of like house and housework, which is like been described as a rave with weights and sliders?
I mean, for me, like my aesthetic for working out is comfort is number one most important thing. And that's like, even when I go out, like you'll never find me in a stiletto. Like it's just not happening. I like to be comfortable. I'm like a true tourist in that way. I like to be comfortable, and I also like to stick to like, I like black and I like muted colors, but I really like pink, and I like bright, bold colors because it makes me feel confident. And I think that people want to feel confident. That's a big reason why people go to work out. So I think it informs, and I think the type of workout, right? Like if somebody's choosing like a more like muted kind of like ballet, Pilates, slow vibe, like, I don't know, they may not be wearing hot pink, like neon, maybe not, maybe they are, but here it's kind of like, that's part of it. Like it's part of fun.
Yeah, I feel like the second that I step into your studio, I do want to be in something bright, something that like vibes with the music, you know? But on the other hand, like just to play devil's advocate, just being a scroller, I grew up like you, like always working out. I've always been into it. I've been doing it my whole life. But for someone who maybe is intimidated by group workout classes, group fitness classes, and they see this like phenomenon of, I mean, there are so many boutique classes that almost have this like unspoken dress code. Yeah. How do you feel about that trend, being the leader that you are? Is that something that you kind of want to like stray away from with housework, or is that something that you feel like it's important to lean into?
I don't love it, to be honest. I do think it could be intimidating, and like I don't really think that that's my vibe. Like, and you've been to housework, but it's like super inclusive. It's super like light energy. It's not so serious. You know what I mean? Like just down to like the language that we use, the music that we use, the like dance break party vibe. It's not like a take yourself so seriously place. So for me, like I do like to show up in a matching set, and I like to feel put together, and I like to wear something fun, but I actually don't think that it's very like uniform here in that sense. Yeah. Like it's not like everybody's in like their slick back bun and they're like, you know what I mean? Like I actually really do. I'm like encouraging people to, I feel like there's a lot of like black in New York, and I like wearing black. I'm wearing black right now, but like I also want people to wear color and like feel fun.
Totally. And even though it's kind of ironic because I was there for the Athleta class, and I felt like since everyone was outfitted in the same color, it did feel not uniform. It felt like we were all together and moving together, but it never felt intimidating. And the way you lead your class, everyone really feels like they can kind of be themselves. Like if you miss a move, which I totally did because I've never been good with like coordination. Like there's that like idea of it's okay. Like you pick it back up. It's just all about feeling good. So I agree with that. But I also like at the same time encouraging people to wear color in New York when there is a lot of black, and a lot of people feel like, you know, for their everyday, for their job, they're always wearing black and neutrals, and workout clothes are so great in that they do provide color. Do you have any personal favorite brands or sets that you gravitate towards when you're getting dressed?
Yeah. I love, I've been like a Year of Ours fan forever. This is a Year of Ours Housework t-shirt that I'm wearing.
Oh, cute. I love that.
I could do that with them. Year of Ours is like one of my like number one go-tos. I love that Lululemon's having a comeback right now because I actually used to work at the store in Union Square when I was in training to be an instructor. And like, I am like of that Lululemon generation where like that was the cool thing. And then it like kind of went away and now it's back. Yeah. And I'm really, really loving it. I've been wearing them a lot. What else? I love Free People. That's what I'm in right now. Super comfortable fabric. I think those, I mean, I like aloe. It's hit or miss for me. I I love Athleta. I loved that set that they gave that day.
It was so soft. So
Yeah,
soft.
so soft. I like that. That's like my favorite fabric. That like sweat. It's like sweat proof. Like, you know, it does a good job.
Yeah.
But it's like softer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also feel like you said free people, and so many people, just if you're not really like big into the workout world, you forget that Free People has like this incredible.
Oh my God, so amazing.
Yeah. It's so good. I even like their running shorts. Like I think that they're really great. But since you mentioned like the resurgence of Lululemon, I'm thinking about like social media a little bit and how TikTok and this big fitness craze that we're seeing there kind of fuels that. Do you feel like TikTok has such a big maybe like play and even housework coming to the rise? Like, how do you feel social media is affecting the fitness industry, big picture?
I mean, when I ask somebody how they heard about Housework, it's 9 times out of 10 TikTok. So for me and Housework, TikTok has been amazing. I only started using it maybe a few years ago, and I feel like that was even late to the game. But I'm so glad that I started. I feel like TikTok is kind of like, it's like I see what sticks.
Yeah.
Whereas like Instagram, I feel a little bit more like constrained.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that on TikTok, I can almost like test things, and then it feels like there's less risk.
Yeah. Yeah. So many people say that.
But it's such a huge discovery platform for people.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does take, I think that TikTok for like for somebody like me or somebody similar to me as a brand, I think TikTok is an amazing awareness tool. I think it definitely might take somebody a while to actually make a purchase or take an action. Because people are like, I've been following you for years. I'm like, okay, like here we are,
Yeah.
But I do think that it is really what's informing people a lot, like for better or for worse right now.
Absolutely. And I think like I use TikTok, like if I was going to search for something like a new workout, for example, or new workout clothes, I'll search on TikTok, but I agree. Instagram is more like you give me your brand and I just want to see your brand. Like I'm not searching for anything on there. And
I'm only following you on Instagram if I'm more committed to it. I'm
yes.
like, oh, now I actually really want to see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because TikTok, you're like, I might see it, I might not. It's whatever. I'll follow or I won't. I'll also use it as a search engine, literally.
Exactly.
But because you have this presence on Instagram that you obviously care about and that you're dedicated to, how do you kind of balance like being authentic? Because when you're producing something, it's hard to be like 150% authentic. So what is your go-to method of like creating something for Instagram?
Well, I'll say 2 things. One is I use what's worked on TikTok a lot. So if something did really, really well on TikTok, which I think I'm very authentic on TikTok. I mean, I am on Instagram too, but like TikTok is like in the moment. It's not planned for me. I'm just like going.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like my most authentic self. And then I'll see what sticks and I'll be like, oh, people really resonated with that thought. Or like, and then I'll pull it to Instagram. And another thing that I'll do is on Instagram, my stories are very in the moment, off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll notice what I get a lot of response to or likes or comments or DMs. And if I notice something there, like this just happened the other day where I posted basically about that, this being this entrepreneur, this fitness owner that I've become is way harder than I led on to on Instagram on a daily basis. And I just basically wrote, it was like a mirror selfie. And I was like, I don't let on to how hard this is. And it really is. But then I have these moments of like, wow, I really fucking did it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so cool. And I got so much response to that. So then I turned it into a post. So I was like, oh, people wanted to hear that. Like that was something that people found interesting. And then another thing that I'll say is if I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should post that. It feels a little vulnerable or like, am I going to piss people off? Like, I don't know. I'll usually post it because it means that it's something that I should say. Like, you know what I mean? If it's making me a little bit uncomfortable, it's pushing me out of my comfort zone a little bit. And it probably is going to be something that's going to resonate with someone.
Totally. I agree. And I think I saw something that you posted, maybe it was even yesterday, or it came up on my feed yesterday, and it was like the, like reality versus behind the scenes.
That's literally that. Yeah. That's
the
story that I did.
Yeah. And I love that. And I think like a lot of people do that, but it's almost like the more we see it, the more comfortable we are doing the same thing and just being open. And it's like a good, like shared mental health space almost. So I love that. I know you mentioned that like that t-shirt is Year of Ours, which I love, but are there any other fashion brands that you would maybe want to collaborate with on like a dream workout line? And what would that look like?
Yeah. I mean, I would love to do a full like Year of Ours Housework collaborative line, like color scheme, the whole thing, which I think I can make happen. I think it's going to happen. And then the other one that I would really, really love to do is like a Housework sneaker.
Oh, cool.
Because I love Hoka. I used to be like a diehard, I still love Nike as well, but I kind of switched to Hoka. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be so cool to design like the perfect Housework sneaker.
Totally.
So
totally.
That's a dream for sure.
And so many of these workout classes too nowadays, like there isn't such importance on whatever sneaker it is that you wear. It's just like wear sneakers. But then when you're actually in it and you're moving, you're like, wait, the type of sneaker that I'm wearing is actually very important. You need to be able to move the right way. And on that note, do you feel like there are any fitness or like fitness apparel brands that are kind of trying to lean into fashion, but getting it wrong? And then not like, and you don't have to name names, but like, what do you think it is that is making it uncomfortable or something that you don't recommend someone new into working out try?
I mean, I think something just happened that was kind of all over the internet, like in the last few weeks, where it's not really about a product, but just about the way the founder was speaking to their audience. Mm-hmm. And I think that like, you need to know who you're speaking. Number one, you need to know who you're speaking to, like who is your customer, who is your audience, and you need to speak to that person.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I think that's actually where people really make mistake is speaking to either too broad of a demographic or not speaking to the right person. Mm-hmm. You want to talk to the people that you're trying to sell to.
Yeah. And it also goes to show that like people really care about the person behind the brands that they're shopping.
Totally. More, and that's all to do with TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very true. So where bigger picture do you see like fashion and fitness going in 2025? Do you think this is going to get even bigger and crazier? How do you envision it?
I actually think it might pull back a little because I feel like trends go like, you know, magnetic pull, right? You know, you're going this way and this way. And I think like, obviously like the matching set and the aesthetic and the Pilates princess is like having its moment. And I kind of actually think it's going to go away. And I think it'll be more like t-shirt, like crop tee leggings, like scrunchy socks, maybe like something, I don't know, like a little bit more, dare I say, retro, or also just basic and not so posy perfect.
I love that. And I love that you said that because my next question is more about you and your personal style and maybe how it's evolved since you literally started as a SoulCycle instructor to today. Like, how have you seen your personal style evolve? And this doesn't even have to just be fitness related. It could be just your everyday as well.
Well, I mean, if you pull up any photos of me from my old SoulCycle days, we are talking patterns everywhere, tie-dye, colors, like horrific, everything, all the time. So I would like to think that my style has definitely evolved. But I would say that like I've gone even more in the direction of comfort. Like it's just important to me that yes, like I look good, but then I also feel good. And there's nothing worse than like buying that trendy set that you try it on and it looked really cool on some other people and you really want it. But there's like, it's like pulling you in the waist a little bit, or like your like skin is like, you know, you don't like the way that like the back is laying on your back, but you kind of pull the trigger anyway because it's like the cool set. And then you buy it and then you wear it one time and you never put it on because every time that you go to put it on, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm in the mood to wear that today. So I think I've leaned more into just like what feels good on me, what I feel confident in and comfortable in.
Totally. I love that. And my last question, this is such a compliment because I feel like a lot of founders who are in your place, it is very easy to say they created this amazing phenomenon, this studio. You have so many clients, it's growing, it's great. And then they take a step back and maybe they're not the ones teaching class, but you still love to teach class. You love to connect with your clients in person. I think that's so special. When you are in class with them, do you feel like you can tell that it was a good high energy class and a great workout based on what everyone is wearing? Do you ever notice that correlation between fashion and fitness? Or do you think it's more just about like the music and the moves?
I don't think so. I think it's more about the music and the moves, to be honest. Like, I think that you can tell how people are feeling based off of their reactions, their smiles, their woos. And I don't know, something like I was just talking to my instructors about this, but I feel like the quicker that you can break down the barrier in a class, like the better it's going to be. Because if people feel connected to you, they're going to want to show up and they're going to feel accountable to their time. So just even as something as simple as eye contact, smile, like, hey, what's up? Like, love your outfit. Like, oh my God, you know, just anything that can break the barrier between you and them is going to help make an amazing class.
Yeah, totally. And I actually felt that when I was in your class. I had never taken a class like that before. And I knew it was going to be hard for me just because of like the remembering the coordination, remembering the moves. I've never been a big like, oh, I'm going to learn the dance and then do it kind of person. And I felt like that barrier broke really quickly where it was just like, you're just going to do it. Like everyone just threw themselves in, even if they had never done it before. And
totally,
that's what's so cool about it. I think it speaks to who you are. Like you bring that energy. So I'm so happy for you. So she's back. Kit, get up here. Kit is lazy in her little bassinet and she's being so lazy. So basically, let me backtrack a little bit. We were talking about how Syd lives in New York. Syd's favorite meal is Peruvian chicken from Pio Pio. I don't have a Pio Pio near me. I wanted to get Peruvian chicken and I found a really good authentic place called El Gordo in Jersey City. And we ordered the lunch and Nick ate his already. I was waiting because I was getting ready to record. Trish, really? And Trish, she is normally not a beggar for food. Kit used to be the beggar for food, to be honest. She is just like tired lately when we're recording. I'm going to get her up here though. And Trish went nuts and Nick started to give Trish some of the chicken, of course, without skin on it. I was like, yes, you can give her a little piece, but there's something about the way this rotisserie Peruvian chicken smells that has her going fucking bananas. So really, I probably should have saved this for the last thing we did in the episode, but I'm really hungry and I want my lunch. So let's see what happens. She's literally trying to eat the box. So anyway, yes, so I need to try Pio Pio. But this is what we are trying today from El Gordo. So it's literally a half rotisserie chicken and the chimichurri, the green sauce, is apparently what makes this shit unreal. Trish, you are gonna need to depart, okay? Go take a workout class. Come on. Go take a walk. Let me try it. Oh my God, that's oh, it's a little spicy. Okay, note to self, don't put it too much on. I like put it all over. You know what? Maybe that will make you go away. Oh, and just in the name of, because I feel like having like an emotional support workout bottle, water bottle is like so part of this fitness craze. And like, what color do you have? And literally on a work call the other day, we were talking about how I'm definitely gonna need a napkin. We're talking about how like when you get a new emotional support water bottle, it encourages you to like drink water again. If you like the aesthetic, it's like, oh, like you're refreshed. It's like wearing a new outfit. Okay, get down. You're now licking the rotisserie chicken. Okay, let's try this. Kit, you want some? Come on up, or you're gonna come up when we're having the conversation about stylish workout brands. Now, again, we've never like really addressed the elephant in the room about the way that I cut, but we're gonna start because I just want everyone to know that like I understand the etiquette way of cutting and I cannot do that with my thumb. That doesn't work. And I'm gonna say that now all the time just to reinforce. Okay, this does look good. It looks like it will literally melt off the bone. Oh, am I gonna have to take a picture? Trish, is it gonna be impossible to even get a picture without you? Trish is obsessed Can you, just for a second, I mean, really? Okay. This chicken is literally delicious. And I will say the sauce, although a little spicy for my taste, it makes it. This is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Oh my God. Okay, I really do want to talk about stylish workout brands, but I also want to eat this chicken. And I'm like not even going to care about using the knife. This is just so good. All right, we're going to come back to this. Oh my God. We're definitely going to come back to this. You're welcome to stay up here and just keep sniffing, okay? As long as you're not distracting from our conversation. Okay, so like I said, I want to talk about some activewear brands and show you what they look like. Because maybe you'll discover a new one that you haven't heard about before, aside from VIREN. And I know if you just listened to the conversation with Syd, which of course I learned so much from her, it's very interesting as a fitness enthusiast, but not like, that's not my thing, right? That's not like what I do. It's always interesting to learn from people who have made it their career and kind of started off just having a passion for it the way I did, and then like really stepped into it and leaned into it. And I always like wish that, okay, maybe like let's relax a little. I always like wish that I did that. But yeah, like kudos to Syd for making it happen. Like I said, she has such a great aesthetic in her studio. You've seen pictures now, so you know, and you probably will want to check out Housework. Okay, let's get into some activewear brands. Syd mentioned some of her favorite. I am going to talk about Year of Ours because it's one of my favorite too. But one that I think goes, oh no, it popped up and she's going to be back. One that I think goes really under the radar and needs to be talked about more is GGC. GGC makes one of my most complimented sets ever. It is this brown and black set. It's really cool. It has like a slit in the one shoulder top here. And it's just really chic. It was launched in 2016 by Gigi Caruso. And they initially focused on luxury swimwear, but then they ventured into activewear. Their activewear usually ranges from like $100 to $200, so it's a little bit more on that contemporary price range, but the pieces are a little bit more unique. You're gonna see a lot of cutouts, a lot of neutral colors, but just really interesting silhouettes that get complimented, and I will say it is very good quality. And this brand was founded in LA. They also are venturing into like luxury loungewear a little bit. They just launched a cashmere collection. Another one that I think people don't think of when they think of activewear, but I think it's growing, and I think more and more people will start to think of it because some of their best sellers are activewear, is Free People. I really like Free People. Is obviously, everyone knows what Free People is. You think of like boho style when you think of Free People, but the colors, the variety of pieces for not just every like person's style, but also every sport on the activewear end of things is really great. And honestly, the pieces are very well priced. They fall between like $30 and $150, I would say. And I have a few Free People pieces. I actually tried their running shorts. Can you stop? We're talking about Free People. I know you want to be a free kitty and eat as much chicken as you want, but this belly says no. This belly says since mommy got back from France, we gained weight. We need to stay away from the Peruvian chicken. Okay, pussycat. Okay. Can you just relax? Can you just stay on mommy's lap? She does not want to do that. I'm gonna literally prop this up so that it closes the chicken, even though I might take another bite. Okay, let's talk about Aritzia, because Aritzia, immediately when I thought of Free People, I thought of Aritzia, because Aritzia has a similar situation where like you don't necessarily think of it as an activewear brand, but their activewear is getting better and better. I think they're introducing the coolest colors. I have this Dayflower blue set by them that I'm obsessed with. It has like a fold over, so it's like flares. It's really good for like a yoga class. And their activewear is similar to Free People as far as like price range goes, like $50 to $150. And they are expanding. They're also expanding into like swimwear, which is just so cool. 437 is a brand that is like an activewear brand through and through. A lot of people love it. You'll see a lot of Set and 437 have like this thing where like in the middle of their sports bras, it'll say 437 or Set. And it's like, oh, you're wearing that, you know? Same with like Aloe. It's kind of like this like recognized like cult following that we're seeing on TikTok. And I'm not saying this is good or bad. I think on the one hand, it could be very good. It's inspiring a lot of people to work out. On the other hand, it was a Peruvian chicken burp. It could cause people to feel like, oh, that's not for me. I'm not like a classic workout girly. I can't take that class if I don't have a 437 or, you know, a set active set, which is just such bullshit. Because really, it's all about how you wear clothes. It's not about the brand that you're wearing. But I do want to talk about these brands because I think they deserve recognition for the community that they built. And I think that that's a really good thing because we do want people to be healthy and exercise and work out, right? And it's great when we have a variety to choose from. It's great when we have size-inclusive variety to choose from. And I think some of these brands are really working on that and expanding, and that's great. So 437 was founded in 2017. And again, similarly to GGC, they did originally focus on swimwear. Their pieces are priced a little bit higher. They are based in Canada. And they also have sustainable practices that they are recognized for. Set Active, I mentioned 437. Of course, when I was making this list, I thought 437, the little sports bra situation, Set Active. They were founded in 2018 by Lindsay Carter. Their products are priced between $40 and $100. They're also based in LA, and they are definitely expanding. I will say that from the Set Active sets I have two that stand out. One is like a deep navy blue, and the other one is black. And they are so soft and so comfortable and so sweat wicking. And I do appreciate it when a brand is sweat wicking because if I do want to do something after the workout class, I have Raynaud's. I'm not sure how we've gotten this far into the episode and I haven't talked about my Raynaud's yet, but Raynaud's, basically, I get cold really quickly. My blood doesn't circulate well. And after a workout class, when I was sweating and I'm wearing something wet, this happens. My fingers start to go numb. In the Set Active set I wore, that did not happen. I had taken a class in the city. I worked out in the Set Active set. I was sweating, but it was so sweat wicking that didn't get the Raynaud's. Okay. So I'll say that about Set Active. Another one that's really popular right now is VIREN. Oh my God. Their material is so soft. You want like really soft, stretchy fabric, VIREN. I also really like their colors. Actually, the set I own by them is literally the purple, like the purple on this plate. It is so beautiful. And they were launched in 2015. They're inspired by the California coastal lifestyle. They have men's and women's. They're known for their very comfortable fabric, like I said, but I didn't know the name of it until I looked at my notes. It's called Dream Knit. And they are based in California as well. Pieces range from like 50 to 120. Left on Friday is really special too, because if you didn't know, Left on Friday actually made the U.S. women's volleyball team uniform. They're really cool. They're kind of like retro inspired, I would say. I really like them. They were also founded in 2018. They do swimwear and they do activewear. Their pieces are a little bit on the higher end, priced between like 80 to 150. And remember, that's just per piece. So you're going to buy a whole set. You're looking at spending over $200, honestly. They're based in California and they really do redefine activewear as well because you'll see a lot of A, cool colors, but B, like, and even the US Olympic team uniforms were very cool in silhouette, but like a cool one shoulder style. I actually have a one shoulder set by them. Year of Ours, which Syd referenced. I'm sorry. I need a bite. And I know this is now going to cause like chaos to ensue again, but like I'm just really hungry and I also want some more of the skin. Does anyone else like love skin and like not go out of their way to avoid eating it? Because I do. I do that with chicken. I do that with salmon. I love skin. Yes, it has fat, but it's healthy. It's good for you. I'm eating my hair. Okay. Oh, this is good. This is really good. And you know what? No shame to my mom, but she used to get us rotisserie chickens from ShopRite. And we used to have that as one of our dinners during the week as kids, and I liked it. But that chicken, like, why couldn't she just go to El Gordo in Jersey City and pick up this chicken? Like, that chicken has nothing. The ShopRite rotisserie chicken, don't hate on me, ShopRite, but like, oh my God, you have a lot to learn from El Gordo. This sauce, oh my God, there's like something about just like taking a very little bit. This looks like a good piece. Okay, I will give you the smallest amount, okay? Come here. Right here. Good girl. See, she's good in that she'll go for it. Kit will go for it and take it. Like, you guys have seen that happen multiple times in front of you. She will wait until I give it to her, even though she's sniffing around. I'm like getting cat hair all over it, but it's fine. Do you know how many pieces of cat hair I probably eat a day anyway? So Year of Ours. Let's talk a little bit more about Year of Ours. It was established in 2016. They are known for their stylish activewear, and they're also based in LA. 80% of products are actually produced in California. And yeah, they partnered with Syd on that cool tee she was wearing. So I love that. And I do kind of foresee a line in Syd's future. I'm going to talk about Aloe Yoga as well, just because if you know about Aloe, you know, like the Jenners work out at the Aloe gym. Like, Aloe is probably the most like luxury model status out of all of these, but you can't not talk about them because I think they are introducing new styles that other brands are picking up on. I'm not saying copying, but I really like how they do like the contrast piping on their clothes. I think it's really cool. It's sporty. It's retro. It's something that I think women just want to wear and gravitate towards. So I think they're kind of like you can't not talk about them because they are really at the start of this, right? And they were founded in 2007, but now they are seeing this craving from women, from young women, to have this sense of community in what they wear and the workouts that they do. So they started by focusing on yoga-inspired activewear, but obviously now their pieces run the gamut. Their pieces range from like $50 to $150. They are based in LA. Why are like all of these brands based in LA? And they're also expanding into Europe as well. So they're really doing good things. And then the last brand out of the 10 that I'm going to name is Splits 59. It's funny, I was talking to my best friend Isabel about all the brands, and I was like, which brands? Because like Isabel's really big into this like activewear and this workout fanatic community on TikTok as well. And she was like, what's that like Splits? And I was like, Splits 49. And then I was like, Splits 57, Splits 59. Like, I didn't know what it was. But now I actually need to just confirm it's Splits 59, because what if it is Splits 57? It's Splits 59. Okay, thank God. Okay, so they were founded in 2008. Their activewear is, I keep saying like a little bit on the higher end, but it's like the same, but they're like above 80. It's like you're looking at like almost $100 for one piece. Again, based in California, and they use high performance fabrics, and they are known for very sleek designs. I think that all of these brands are known for sleek designs. All of these brands show how activewear can be stylish and sophisticated. And just like VIREN, they also work to include comfort in their products. So, and they know that that's important. So, with all of this being said, and as the fitness enthusiast that I am, someone who will continue to try new classes, someone who will continue to always work out on my own, I think that it's a good thing that we're bringing fashion into fitness overall. I think that social media, and we've had this discussion in other episodes, right? Not even related to fitness, but social media is what tends to make things feel intimidating. All of the get ready with me's, all of the ridiculous standards that women, people in general, place upon themselves because of comparison. If you look at these things without social media involved, it's a great space. It's great to shop these brands if you love them, if they are size inclusive, and especially the ones that are affordable. I always say look out for the sales, because all of these brands have sales, especially in like the summer. Like, there are summer sales, Memorial Day sales, Labor Day sales. But I think that anything can be dangerous. And I think that comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that I feel that sometimes when I go on TikTok and I see all of these workouts that I would like to try, but that feel intimidating because there's like an unspoken uniform in the class and like all the girls wear these specific brands that I'm talking about. I think it's good to know that you can bring your own sense of style to the workout set that you're wearing. And it really doesn't matter who your workout set is by. If a set makes you feel good, invest in a set. It can be from Old Navy. Old Navy actually just launched a new line. It can be from anywhere that you like to shop. So many brands now have activewear. Take what you see from these communities that are being built, whatever you're seeing on TikTok, and apply that to your own set. And I think in general, we should just use these brands and their aesthetics as inspiration. And I think that it's cool to be stylish when you're working out. I think as long as you're not wearing anything that could literally injure you when you're working out, it's a cool thing. And maybe next time I work out and I do a Peloton class, because I biked this morning with Robin and she was wearing jewelry, maybe I will keep on these necklaces and wear this VIREN set. I do have to say, as my final note, I don't invest enough in sets that have like a cool sports bra-like top with sweats that I can then lounge in all day, because I don't always do a high-intensive cardio workout. I like doing Pilates too, and I really don't sweat that much when I do like mat Pilates at home. So that is what I'll say. I will be here with my chicken. Try a housework class if you haven't. Shop VIREN. Shop the brands that make you feel good. Don't be afraid to apply fashion to fitness. We love you, and I promised Kit would get up here, and now I have to deliver. And no one get mad at me for waking her up, because this cat sleeps every day, all day. Woo! Woo! We're working out, and we look stylish while we're doing it. I'm wearing jewelry and working out at the same time. Oh my God. I love you. We love you. We love you. Look at you in your black and white set. You stylish little kitty. Come explore, okay? Kit will eat this dressing. Yeah, okay, we love you. Work out and bring fashion to it. Bye. It's inspiring a lot of people to work out. On the other hand,